Happy Monday. Happy Monday. It was a fun day Monday, I hope for all. And happy belated Mother's Day to those who probably didn't see my post. Of course, I wasn't on here. I was sharing my special day with my children. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I ate, got stuff, came home, watched some other stuff, didn't watch YouTube. I must say, I did not watch YouTube. I think I may have dropped down in somebody's chat maybe for a hot minute and left. I just didn't want to ingest the beef sector madness because I would think that, anybody who was celebrating Mother's Day wouldn't be on here hooping and hollering and acting a fool. Thank you, View, for being a member. Again, thank you, sweetheart. I really appreciate your support, View, sharing me out and everything. I hope your day was great. Some people didn't have mothers to share with it. But again, your mother was an angel watching over you. Everyone knows that even myself, mom passed away a couple of years ago, so it was very tough. However, we got through it because I always say my mom is an angel watching over me, and take that as your mother is an angel watching over you if she's no longer here. Okay. And those who had their mother here, I hope you had a good day with her. I hope so. Now, you guys, today is Monday and they say there's a lot going on. Hey, Skillet, baby, I wished you well. Glad to see you. I hope you all enjoyed your day yesterday and tried not to get so involved with a lot of this beef. I just can't. Thank you, Miss Jones. It's 32 people and Miss Jones is number 15. I know I have some haters in the bushes watching, but remember, even though you hate me and you watch me, I still get coins from you watching, even if you don't hit the like. It is what it is. So I appreciate you hating on me. But for the ones that love me, thank you so much for being here with me today. Now, just Andrea, I remember a couple of months ago, you and I was on a panel and we had talked about parents who make the decision to not have children or to give their children up for whatever reason. And we had 4 strong people on the panel, and a lot of us thought different. And so when it comes to this Amora Lex story, I was watching her over on Neek at Night, and I had so many moments. I said to myself, now, is she doing this for selfishness or selflessness? Now, it could get rough taking care of kids. I remember I had a period in my life when I had 3 children and I was single, and it got rough, but never once did I decide to give them up. But if the burden was so hard to bear, I don't know if I would have made a decision. Now, I'm saying I wouldn't have made a decision, but some people make the decision to give their children up for whatever reason. And I tend not to come down here and judge people. I just say if I could do it as a young lady with 3 children, then I would hope someone else would be as strong as me and decide to hang in there, because kids love you regardless. That's what people don't understand. But if the struggle gets to be too much, then you do have a right to take them to someone else who is capable of caring for them. But now, did she do it for her for a good reason, or she just did it because she was tired? Now, I'm gonna tell you, I watched her over at Neek at Night. Neek at Nights. I watched her ramble on for at least I watched it for an hour, and my thoughts was that when it all is said and done, I believe she did it to be selfish because she got tired. Now she struggled. There's no doubt that you have 5 kids, you 20-some years old. That shit's a struggle, especially when you don't have one helping you, when you don't have anyone helping you. But where I got a little confused at whether she had help or not is when she said she has family who loves her and support her and who helps her, And so when I looked at the video, the little portion that I saw, because she's everywhere doing, her great tour. And I know when you do that, content creators pay you money. They pay you money, and also you get notoriety. It may not be good attention, but any attention is attention for some, not to me. Now I think is, is 50-50. She's getting bad reviews, and she's getting good reviews, because some people truly believe that she gave her 5 children up because she couldn't just handle them anymore. But the more I heard her talk on Neek at Nights, I call bullshit. But that's me. Again, I'm not here to bash or judge Amora Lex. That's what she say, Amora Lex. I'm not here to judge her, but her story was changing somewhat. And what really threw me off is when she was giving the interview in the car with Neek at Night, and she had been there a while. And her sister, someone hands her food, and Neek said, "Well, wait a minute, where are you? Someone just handed you food. Hey, Ray Black, good to see you, baby. Good to see everyone in here. Someone just handed you food. Who was that?" She said, "Oh, that's my sister." She said, "We're here celebrating my mom for Mother's Day weekend." I thought, what? You're celebrating your mom with your sisters. You just told us that your family is very supportive and they helped you a lot, but you decided to drop your 5 kids off and with someone because of what? Because her name is Amora Lex. The story she went viral, baby. I tried to upload the video, but I don't see her video. But what happened was she walked in this place. Now we're not sure because she said her kids aren't in CPS custody, but they had been in CPS custody at one point and she got them back. Right? Okay. She walked into this place and she decided to give whomever, we don't know, because I was watching. Hey, MBK King, what's going on, baby? I was watching her on Neek at Night. She never said who she gave the children to, but I found this to be strange. She knew that whoever she gave the kids for, they gave them to, would take good care of them, and she knows she would have the ability to go back and get them. So my thing is, who did she give her kids to? She said they're not in CPS custody. They wasn't at the fire department, from what I gather. But she knew. Here it is, Amira. I thought she said her name. Monty put it here. Is Amora Lex story. She said she knew that she would be able to go back and get her kids, and she visits them daily. Now, this is what I heard at Neek. The story was changed. She visits them so she knows she's in good hands. They're in good hands, sorry. But my thing is, why did you give your kids up if you had that help? You had that help. So why would you give them up? Why weren't those people in your family able to come help you take the children sometime? Now, I guess to be a lot to have 5 children. I had 3 single, but not once did I ever think, no matter how hard times got, and times got really hard, but I was truly blessed that we had never been homeless, and we always had food to eat, clothes on our back, and we had the necessities God had blessed us with. Now, she didn't go deep into her situation other than she's getting her life together, and soon she'll be finished school, and she gave her children to someone, not CPS, y'all. She made sure to say it wasn't CPS until she finished school and get her life together, and then she'll go back and get them. But I couldn't imagine me sitting with my sisters and my family celebrating Mother's Day and not having my children with me if they were such a great support system, because Neek asked her and she said, "Oh no, they've been a great support system." So why couldn't they continue to support you and you keep your kids? And then I go to her page and I'm looking, and I've even, tried to reach out to her, and she called me. I mean, she reached back out at me and said she would do an interview. But I noticed she was on tour. She was on tour doing interviews. And like I said, they had her Cash App up there. And they also probably gave her some type of compensation for coming on their show. So I don't know if that's a way of getting money to get what she need, or Is this a publicity stunt? You know, she's trying to get into the music industry. So when I went to her page, I saw where she had an intro for her upcoming music. And I thought, well, okay, sis, are you trying to get your life together, or are you just trying to get in the music industry and want to be free of those kids that you chose to have? You didn't choose to have one or two, you chose to have five. So why is it all of a sudden a burden now? I couldn't understand. I had so many questions for her, and I was hoping that I did get an interview with her. But you always go where the money. Most people go where the money resides, you know. But I have had moments when I have cried and I have wished at one point that my children and I was in a better condition, but I never for once thought to give them up. But the reason why I don't judge is because everyone is built different. I was built just stronger. I say I didn't give a shit where me and my kids went. We could live in a paper box. I'm gonna have my kids with me because I'm determined to do better and provide for them because they didn't ask, not need near one of them asked to come here. I brought them here. And so it was my job to take care of them. So while she's running around on these tours, and I don't want to judge the young sister, I really don't, but I want to be real. And that's all I know to be. That's the only way I know to be. You running around here and you talking about your music is coming out and you gave your children up. So did you give them up to be selfish or to be selfishness? You know what I'm saying? Not to be, I can go with the second one, that you did it because they really had become such a burden to you that you wanted them to be in better care. But you riding around in the car look a little decent. I don't know what year it was. I can't say, but she looked good. But the more she talked, the more confused I got. And the more I decided that, hey, I think, sis, you full of shit. I think you just want to go live your life fancy free. But I didn't see it all because the sister was rapping. Neek was just letting her go. She had to stop her a couple of times to tell her what the chat was saying. Hey, Muz, thanks for joining me. So I believe that when I start listening to her and I start seeing the way she moved, like going on all these tours trying to explain or plead her case, I believe is more as a publicity stunt. And artists do that. Real artists do that. So this will definitely get attention. She said, "Oh, I didn't mean to go viral. I just was recording it." Of course, anytime you take your 5 children and hand them to whomever, because we still don't know who she gave those children to. She just wants to make us aware that they're in good hands. She could visit them, and she was assured that she could go back and get them. So to me, you didn't put them in the system, but they had been in the system before. And then after the 3 was in the system, see, this is the shit throwing me off. You decide to have twins by someone else. And then the children that I believe that you have 3, the same gentleman that you have 3 with, his mom also said that you was the cause of him overdosing. Allegedly, you the cause of it. And you tried to explain that to Neek. Neek went into deep details. She was just letting the sister rap and rap and rap and rap and rap. Can you guys please get the lights up? She was letting her rap and not stopping her. And remember, the more a person talks, the more they'll tell. Hey, y'all said it. What's happening, baby? I know you probably heard about this story. So I believe she was just doing a publicity stunt to get her name out there. And she got plenty of attention because the video went viral. She said, "Oh, I didn't think that it was going to go viral." Yes, you did. Anytime you make a video, you on camera giving your kids up, that shit's going to go viral. So you knew what you were doing, but I need to know, why did you do it? Why, after all this time, you decided to give up 5 of your children? You didn't keep none of them. And you know where your children are at. So my thing is, do your family have your children, sis? And this is just something you did to get attention, to get your name out there, because now you're putting out intros to your music. So I believe in my heart of hearts, you did it to be selfish for your own selfish reasons, not because you couldn't take care of them. You said you get $1,300 in food stamps. That's a lot of food stamps, but still you need something other than that. Then you said your house burnt down, but you had a new apartment. I'm like really confused. And I said I would love to ask her some straightforward questions and not beat around the bush. Yeah, Peach is not doing good either. I'll talk about Peach in a few. But anyhow, so my thing is, I believe this was a stunt. Hey, Ronnie Q, I believe this sister pulled the stunt. And I don't believe she gave her kids to no damn body because we never did see who she was handing the kids. We never even seen the children. Not on the video I seen. I just heard her talking. So did you really give your kids up, or were your kids right there with you and your sister and your mother? Oh no, we ain't talking about her, baby gummy. We ain't talking about her. You know that's dead. She dead to me. But anyway, so I know a lot of y'all heard it. So I remember just Andrea and I was on a panel before, and I was saying I understand if the pressure gets to be too much. You know, everybody not built the same. I'm just a strong person. I've always been strong. That's why you don't see me go where the wind blows. I don't go where the wind blows. I stand on my principles and my integrity and my character. I don't give a shit with no one else. I don't follow behind people. I've always been strong-willed. And so I would have never even decided, I wouldn't have made that decision. But some people make the decision to give their children up simply because they can't take care of them. And if you can't provide for them, and you know someone who, or some people who could provide for them, then I commend you for giving them to someone who could provide for them. We can't judge you because we don't know. As a mother, you have an emotional attachment in most cases, unless something is mentally wrong with you, and you love those children you give birth to. And you don't ever want to see those children suffer for anything. See, it See, I've been there before. Like I told you, I've been there. I've been there. So I know what it is to not be able to provide some things for my children. Just the necessities, not the extras, but the necessities. And I felt bad as a mother. But here's the great thing about it. My children knew that I was doing my best and what I could do. And they never, ever asked for anything they didn't think that I could provide to them. They never asked. They loved me regardless if they couldn't go to every event that other kids went to, or they couldn't get all the new Jordans or whatever was out back in the day. They 42, 43, 42, 41, and 33. So they are older kids, right? But my kids was just happy just being with me. And you know what I get in return on Mother's Day? I get the world. I get whatever I want from my children. My daughter is taking me on the cruise. She treated me to dinner. My son knew that my computer is crashing. That's why I can't come on camera. My computer is no good. That's why I'm just going to do it this way for a while. And he said, "Don't worry about it. I got you, Mom. Anything that I need, I am so grateful if I can't get it, that my kids knew that I loved them enough and I did what I could, and I showed them unconditional love with what I had, and they giving me that in return. That's what my kids give me. Hey, that's what they give me in return. They make sure mom is good. Everybody don't have that. They don't have that love. And that's pretty sad. And it's pretty sad when people give their children up just because they want to be free. I can see if you give your children up, and I don't make judgment on people who don't have their children with them and they with someone who's taking care of them. good care of them, loving them, providing for them if they couldn't. That's the right thing to do. They shouldn't suffer for you because you're being selfish. And if somebody else could provide a better life for them, then you do what you feel is right in your heart. But make sure it's right in your heart. And make sure if you do give your kids up to get your life together or to get them out of a dangerous situation or for whatever the reason is, you can't provide for them. I just think that you should do all that you could do humanly possible to get your children back. Because children love you unconditionally. They love you unconditionally. They don't give a shit about what you. My kids didn't care that I couldn't buy them the latest Jordans. They didn't care that we didn't have no big fancy house. We didn't go on trips because when I got in the position to do that, that's just what I showered them with, what I could provide them with, and beyond. So we hung in there together, but everybody can't do that. And so I'm not casting judgment on this young lady if she did it for the right reasons. But let me tell you something about a mother and a father and kids. See, a mother and a father, especially a mother, your kids will cling to you regardless of what you could get. I know situations where mothers don't have shit, but have their kids with them. And they living just like that. Just like that, as long as they are around their mom. Now, dad may be a little different. And it's okay if you're a single mother and then the child father is doing well and you can't provide for them. Give them to their father. They have a right to that child just as much as you do. But I hope this girl did it for the right reason. But from what I see, I don't think it's for the right reason. I think the sister got tired of taking care of those 5 kids. And if she's just a step away from graduation, why couldn't she bring her mother and her sister into play and say, hey, I'm this, I only have these many more months to graduate. Can you please keep the kids for me? Why did you do this big thing of making this video as if you gave your kids up? You didn't give your kids up to someone you don't know, but you made it sound like that. You got people out here thinking, sis, that you gave your kids to some type of agency. They thinking you just walked in the fire department, the hospital, or CPS and gave your kids up. I don't think that's the case. Well, one of the children, 3 of the children, according to her father, he's deceased. He OD'd. The 2 other ones, I think she said the father didn't want to be bothered with him. I don't know. The girl was talking this. Why is Uncle Tracy so mean? Why does he drag kids? I don't know anything about that for his grant. I don't view her as no Uncle Tracy. People got the liberty to do what they want. So I think her children are somewhere with her. I believe that too. I believe this was somewhat just to get her name out there, and it could be a scam. We are faced with so many scams, and people are easy to give up money when children are involved. Think about it. You are more apt to give someone money if children are involved. And I think it's a scam too. Mr. YouTube Street, something in my spirit say this is not right. So who are we talking about? I told you, Gummy. Thank you, Just Andre. So I don't know you guys, but like I said, I think she did it for attention. I think it's a scam. She's on tour, so people are paying her because I had a conversation, through IG with her, and she was willing to do an interview. We were just going to talk about the money, but the more I thought about it, and I saw that she had some other interviews scheduled, I didn't follow through with it. Yes, it could have been a good interview, but I'm a firm believer that all money ain't good money. I don't want anyone on here lying to my people. And a lot of times when you interview with people, you do allow them to get their story out and talk and talk and talk. But I'm one to ask some real hard questions. I wanted to ask some real hard questions, So that's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about, do people give up their kids just to be selfish? I know a couple of, people that I have encountered that decided to give their children up, and it was for good reasons. They couldn't provide, they just couldn't provide for their kids, or they wanted to go on to get their education or find a better job so they could provide a little better for their children. But again, children love their mothers regardless. It's unconditional love. But if you can't really provide for them, I don't see anything wrong with giving them to someone who can provide for them. I'm just saying, I don't see. Maybe my baby just loves spending time with her mommy. The extras are just that extra. We can chill out at home and I could take her out and she could care less. Yeah, children just love their mothers, and I'm not here again to judge this young girl, but something in my spirit say that this is just a stunt, because we never saw who she gave the kids to. I think it's just a stunt. Nope, she made posts via Facebook. Nope, she made posts via Facebook saying what? She said if their fathers don't care, why should she? Well, according to her, when she was talking to Neek, 3 of the children had the same father, if I'm not mistaken, if I heard correctly, and he's unalive. And the mother of that young man is accusing her of somehow helping him to overdose on drugs. And she said that's not true. So 3 of the children, I believe she said, had the same father. And that's why I wanted to have a conversation, because she was just rambling on, y'all. She was just rambling on. And it's like, damn, can't somebody ask her some questions, ask her some tough questions, because her stories is conflicting, is changing, is wiggling around here. And I need to know the truth, because again, if she did it for good reasons, then I truly support and applaud her. I agree. She did the right thing. But if not, then I don't. I call bullshit. A family you create is more important than the family you come from. Sometimes that's true, and sometimes kids are better off in a different place. But if you just giving kids and putting them in the system, some foster homes and adoptive parents are worse than what you could have done with those children if you would have just kept them. Some people just do it for the money, but then some people do it for the love. They do it for the love. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate you so much, Muz. So I'm going to drop my link, because the sad thing is every woman who has a baby is not a mother. Yes. Now that's true. Some people, I don't know how they do it, but they don't have that emotional attachment. They don't have that bond for whatever reason. They don't have that. So it's pretty tough for them to love. Everyone, you right, who give birth to children don't necessarily, and it sounds crazy as hell, because I can't imagine not loving my kids. But again, I know I've had some tough times with them, but I never once not loved them or wanted to give them up to someone, So I don't know, you guys. Can somebody tell me who Miss T is talking about? Gummy, I already told you. You stop that. I told you I'm talking about Amora Lex's. Monty even put it in the chat. Now listen, this is just a quick break. Clemeny is not in here, but it's Mental Health Month. If you think you're struggling with any type of mental illness, please contact your nearest professionals who can help you. Don't come on YouTube. Don't come on YouTube. If you think you're struggling with anything mentally, any imbalancement, please seek professional help. Not YouTube. Not YouTube, y'all. This is not the place. Better to give them up than drag along, though. If you aren't up for the challenge, it is definitely better to give them away. There are many parents out there that are childless, full of love. Exactly. Is many people out there who are childless that's full of love, Monty, and that's good. But like I said, did anyone ever see her give the children to specific people? Because I never saw her give the children. I never even seen the children. Maybe I just didn't see the whole video. Somebody could come help me out, because I never seen children. I never seen the children or I didn't see her hand the children over to someone. I didn't. That she just ready to shake her ass, yeah, and be around some good people and laughter. And that was after supposedly she gave the kids a, yeah, like I said, she was in the car for a long time talking to Neek at night. And then her sister would bring her plate. So that showed me she never stopped the conversation to ask her sister to bring her anything to eat, to text her sister, to call her sister. She was outside of the home. She said, we're spending the weekend, the Mother's Day weekend, with my mother and my family. So her sister loved her enough to bring her plate. So I would assume that her sister loved her children enough to help take care of them until she got on her feet. But again, that's me. If you thought that it's a scam, will you be disappointed? If you thought that it's a scam, I will be disappointed. I will be if it's a scam. I will be if you find out it's a scam. Will you be somewhat? But for some reason, I believe in my heart of hearts after listening to her for about an hour, and then seeing her saying she has other interviews set up and introducing her new music. It was an intro she had did on Instagram, I believe it was. After I saw that, I said to myself, this some bullshit. Yeah, that's what I said to myself. Ray, I truly love the kids. They are little beacons of lights. They are. And your kids, let me tell you something. As your kids grow older and they see your lifestyle and things you doing, even if you had a conversation with your kid and you said to your kid, hey, listen, I'm making this decision because I love you, and I'm going to give you to Grandma Susie, and I'll be back for you. I'm going to school. When I finish school, I can make better money, and I'll come back and get you. Even if you made that, you had that discussion with your children and you go back and get them, they're going to pick up loving you just the same, knowing that you even was a better parent to sacrifice them to a certain degree and to get your education or get a better job to take care of them. Okay, baby. That's okay. I thought you was being extra. Gummy Bama, that's okay. I appreciate your support, baby. The audio has her talking to CPS worker, but it doesn't show her nor the kids that I have. Yeah, see, I didn't see her. I didn't see her give it. She said she told Neek at night you guys could go over there. I didn't want to play her video. I didn't even want to play the audio of it. You guys go over there and give her a click and view. She told Neek at night her children were not with CPS. She said, my children aren't with CPS. I know where my children at. I know they're good. I could visit with them. I could talk with them, and I can go back and get them anytime I get ready. So that's what she said. Hey, Informant Sugar, what's going on, baby? So they're not with CPS, according to her. Hey, Grown Folks TV, what's up? I come in peace, Mz.Teavalocity. I like your logical commentary. Okay, Fridge Grant, Nat, Fridge Nats. Oh, girl, I see what it is now. You messy. So that's all I'm saying. I believe that the girl may be full of shit, y'all, and she may be trying to do her music career. And of course, if you're doing your music career and you want to move around, hey, the children would be what I call a hindrance to her, but she should have made that decision before she had 5 of them. She didn't have 1, she didn't have 2, but she had 5 children. She should have thought about that. And I think she's like 29, if I'm not mistaken. But it's agencies out there. Please let me know how you feel about Peach situation. I'll go into Peach's situation in a minute. Okay, baby, I will. Because me and my mixology and I talk quite a bit about Peach. So I'll go into Peach situation. But I wanted to talk about this situation because I know it went viral and I know people is going to talk about, I think her name is Amora Lex's decision, to give up her kids. I know people talking about it. Let me see something right quick. Let me see something. Oh, it's working okay, but I can't stay on camera. I got to get a new computer. Yeah, but hey, that turned out pretty good, but I don't want it to go out. So I'm going to drop my link in a minute. So Oh, see, Mama Panor think the same thing. Oh, I'm more than sure she full of shit. She has too many stories floating out. Yeah, she wasn't consistent. But that's why when you do an interview, and no shade to Neek at Night, because I watch Neek at Night. I think when you call yourself doing an interview, you do allow the interviewee to talk, but you have to have some questions that you want to ask so you could give your audience clarity, because I'm so confused. Some people say they saw her talking to CPS. I call bullshit. I never saw children with her, and the twins are little, so you would have seen them children some kind of way, trailing behind her or in front of her. So would you like for me to drop the link to video? Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Grown Folks TV. Hey, my pa from King Rider. What's going on, Grown Folks TV? So I want to just stick with that for a minute, but then you asked me about Peach McIntyre. Now, Mixology and I follow Peach McIntyre. I don't know if she quit following her. I had quit following her for a reason. She was a millionaire, so she say, according to her, we know she was making plenty of money, but where's all her money? Where's all her money? She says she broke. Now she's another stunt queen too. Some of that shit just be for stunts. So I don't know if this for a stunt, just to keep the videos going, but I do know that she make up a lot of this shit just to, here's the link. Here's the link to the interview at Neek at Night. Okay, so y'all could go over there and watch that. Yeah, she started wilding. Yeah, I think she started getting money and she started acting different. But for some people, shock value content. Yeah, she does shock value content. And I believe this girl did shock value content, or she did this just to go viral. I don't believe she gave her kids up to anyone. And $1,300 is a lot of money in food stamps, but for 5 groceries are a lot, you guys. They're a lot, but still $1,300. And she sounded like she may be a little slick with it too. So, I could say some things, but she sounded like she a little slick with it. She a little slick with it. So I do believe that this is just a stunt, you guys. So you could give her, if you decide to, if you see her somewhere and you cash app her, that's on you. But I'd rather cash app the people who have her children. How about that? But you know what, Andrea? People do. People do. You have some people, again, this is who's not mentally stable. She's young. I'm not saying she has some mental illness, but if you listen to her, something else is going on. She appeared to be, somewhat intelligent, but that still doesn't negate the fact that she can have mental illness as well. And maybe this was pressure for her, and maybe she knew. Artists do it all the time. Artists does it all the time. They do publicity stunts to get out there. So, she want to be a rapper. She want to be a somebody in the music industry. So, I don't know. Yeah, I spend quite a bit too. I spend about 800 a month for 4 plus E now. So yeah, 1,300 months grows will help me tremendously. Will help me too. Just Andrea. So I'm gonna drop this link. Hey, Unfiltered Muffy, and Rose, we can talk about Peach McIntyre. So let's go there. Let's go to Peach McIntyre then, because she's a mom of 7. She's a mom of 7. I've always from the time I've watched her, seen her around her children. I don't recall Peach giving us any stories about her giving her children away, or people, her wanting to give them away. I don't remember stories like that, but I don't follow her every day or every video she make. But she's a mom of 7, and she hustled. She hustled. She got on here and she used, hey, uppity baby. She used all social media platforms to earn her money. Even though some have been terminated now, she still has YouTube. And she made quite a bit of money. She made quite a bit of money. According to her, she have made millions, at least a meal ticket. That's a lot of money. But if you don't know how to manage money, that's not shit. Think about it. For someone who don't manage money, who has a gambling habit, or whatever other habits she may have, eating out, she have nannies, she had a house that she taped in plus a regular home. She said she blew all her money and now she's broke. That's according to her. But again, she's a stunt queen. She's a shock jock. So I can't believe everything Peach McIntyre said. But if that's the case, that's sad, because once you get a certain level of money, you should have a financial advisor off the rip. Hey, the unfiltered Muffy baby, how you doing? She should have had somebody off the rip helping her, with handling her money. If she didn't have good money management. Yeah, she had 7 kids to take a lot with. But again, she was getting paid from all social media. So I know she made good money, and I think one time she even displayed what her YouTube check was. And that was a nice chunk of money. Hope you enjoyed your Mother's Day, uppity. That was a good chunk of money, but she squandered the money away according to her. According to her. But I'm gonna drop my link. Listen, this is about Amora Lex'S. Okay. Hold on. And that's who is about. I don't give a damn about what else going on with anybody else. This is who this story is about. And Peach McIntyre, because she got 7 kids and she kept her kids. Is that you, Andre? Is that you?
Yes, it is. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Andrea before you guys, say something. We had this conversation before, and she speaks with a lot of passion. What would you like to add to this? Remember, we were supposed to do a part 2.
Yes, we was.
What's happening? What do you think's going on with her, or do you know this story? Hey, Silky Black baby.
Yeah, I don't know this story, so I'm listening to what you said. Hold on, 1 minute. My grandson is got his phone in here. Hold on 1 minute.
Okay. I love to gamble too, Rose. I love to gamble, but I ain't gonna gamble no millions of dollars, and I ain't gonna gamble that I'm not able to pay my bills. Shit, I don't like to gamble that much. But I mean, I like to gamble, but $1 million, that's a lot of money, y'all, for her not to have invested in anything that will get her great returns. But I can't tell people how to what to do with their money. So anybody else know
Okay,
about the
I'm
story?
sorry. I'm
Andrea, I'm surprised she ain't heard about it. Go ahead, Andrea.
okay. I haven't heard about it, but I'm listening to her. But that's 5 kids. I'm just
Yeah, 5
confused. I'm
kids.
just confused about she has 5 kids, and when I had a hard time, oh, it's okay, baby. When I had a hard time, I did. My ex husband took my kids for like 6 months until I got
Mhm.
on my feet. But we was always, even though we were divorced, we were still a family because them and his kids. So he was gonna help me with them. So
Exactly.
I'm just confused about she don't got no help from none of the kids, daddy, nothing.
Well, when she was talking to Neek, that's why I said she was talking in circles. She was saying how she used drugs, how the baby daddies, the 3 baby daddies, because they asked her how many babies, daddies did she have, and I want to say she said 2. One is for the set of twins she had, that's the young ones, and 3 was for the older children, and the 3 older children father is deceased because he overdosed. And Neek read the message that the 3 children father wrote.
Uh-huh.
Mother, well, let me get it together. The 3 of the children have the same father. He overdosed. Okay, Silky, you know what's going on. But the mother blamed her for him overdosing off of drugs. So she had wrote this. I think she had wrote on Instagram, Facebook, somewhere. She had wrote a long soliloquy about how she fought this young girl for her son's death. So I think she got a lot going on wherever she lived. I think she run into some young men that's not good for her. You know? Hello? Hello? I think Andrea had but Silky Black, you heard the story. If somebody want to jump on here and talk about it. But yeah, I would love for that young lady. I should have hashtagged her. I would love for her to come down here and tell her story because I want to ask questions. I don't want her to just ramble on and on and on and on and on and on. I would like to ask questions that would give me clarification. But she don't owe me anything. She don't owe anyone anything. But once you come out here, anything you put out here for YouTube consumption, people could talk about. Hold on, Silky Black baby. Hey, Silky Black, that's you?
Yeah, that's me. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing?
Hey, baby, you heard about the story? You heard this story?
Yeah, I actually did. It's funny that I think I watched it yesterday or the day before. And I think I was falling asleep while I was listening to her, but she was on a lot of line. Like her story was changing and it was just crazy. But one thing that I will say is I rather her gave him up. You know, she
Right.
well at the end, and this is where I think her last came in at. She
Mhm.
actually says that no, CPS didn't get him, like she didn't fully go through it with CPS, that they was with her that night,
Right.
that they're with somebody that she knows, and she can have full contact with them. And if that's
Yep.
the case, then wouldn't she have did that before CPS? But I don't know. I've been looking at a lot of several different things, and uh, I'd rather her did that than to
Right.
drive them over in a river or somewhere,
Right.
because she
Right.
don't want them no more, or she
Right.
feel like it's too overwhelming and she can't do this, and she can't do this by herself, so she do something more detrimental to them. So
Right.
if this is her way, and hopefully the girl is doing exactly what she say. But another thing, because another person came up and say, well, if you doing, why is you on here talking about, where the weed at, and let's party and all of this other kind of stuff? And her
Mhm.
thing was, well, my life ain't gonna stop. I didn't like that. Cause girl,
Right.
but okay, she's young and stupid. So
Yeah.
okay, I can understand to a certain extent. And if
Mhm.
she's doing all what she say she doing, which is, now she's going to school, and which, listen, the system to me
Mhm.
is designed to keep you down. So you trying to go to work, and you got 5 kids that you
Right.
have to pay a daycare for, or somebody to watch your
That's
kids.
the thing.
What she said was that they cut her voucher off. Now,
Mhm.
if when they cut your voucher off,
Mhm.
your daycare, that's over. Who gonna watch your kids? Now, see, it's
Yeah.
either you gonna be negligent one way or the other. Because if you leave them there by themselves so you can go to
Right.
work,
Mhm.
then you still a negligent parent. So if this happened the way she say, it's like you getting hit from all over the place. And what is you to do? You single and you got 5 kids and you still got to go to work and my rent is due. But see, let me tell you why I thought her story was full of lies.
Come on now, because
If
I'm
you
following you.
if you is eligible for a voucher from the
Uh-huh.
welfare department to get you some child care,
Uh-huh.
then I'm sure you could be eligible for some rent assistance. So do I think that girl was paying $1,500 in rent? I don't. But
Right.
okay, even if she did, whatever job she had, it still had to go to her well-being, living
Right.
situation. And once they
Right.
cut that voucher and cut
Right.
her from being able to have adequate daycare,
Mhm.
that screws you all the way around. And we talking about somebody young trying to figure it out.
Yeah. So I don't knock that she did it, but I don't know if I quite believe Silky Black that she really did it. I'm beginning to think with all these tours, tours she going on, and when she dropped that intro to her new music and follow, to me, I think it was a stunt. Now, if she did it, I'm like you. I always say I'm not judging her. I commend her for doing that. Even if she, like, I'm like you, Silky, even if she just didn't want them no more, I'd rather her give them to someone, you know. Hey, Kimberly Black, thank you, Queen, for stopping in. And I answered your email. Sorry, baby, I answered it a few minutes ago. You
I
can
told
definitely.
you she said she didn't do it. She said CPS don't got my kids.
That's what she says. CPS don't got her kids.
Okay, but if she says CPS don't got her kids, and y'all say that she talking about she want to smoke the weed, so if we don't give her an excuse because she's a young mom that she can just I'm just asking some questions. I was a young mom too. I got married at 22 and got divorced at 28. So I'm just confused about like the responsibility when you have children. You got to put away childish stuff, and childish stuff mean you can't be doing dumb shit because you got some kids to take care of.
Yeah, but Andrea too. Everybody is not built the same.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I think I may be passionate about this because I told you I've been watching other stuff and I ran across not only her video, I think after that I ran across another negligent mom, okay? And her daughter name was Anaya Day. And it was just heart-wrenching just what the own mama put that baby through. And so and to me if you ask me, it was because you rather have fun. She depth cramping your style. You ain't got time for your man. So it is people out there that will go to lengths that me or you may not. And so I end up feeling like she lying. Her kids ain't in no doggone CPS.
No,
But the video that went viral was her in the CPS office.
Did you hear someone talking back to her, or did you see the sign say whatever Department of Human Service or whatever?
I think you did hear the lady talking back to her.
And what was? Can you remember somewhat?
Dang, I can't.
I can't see. I don't remember that. Again, what the person that I watched was Nick at Night, and after watching an hour, and I don't know what part I came in because she was rambling. Her story wasn't sounding solid to me.
It wasn't, but Nick at Night came after. It came because see her story. Her story went viral before the thing with her. Because I went to look it up, and maybe that's how I saw when she was sitting in the with the CPS place, and she said that she had tried to take them. You know how you could drop your kids off at the fire department,
hospital.
So they say, you could do that. She said that she had tried to do that.
Oh, so Lady Tia Design say that she heard the CPS lady talking with her.
I think she was. She sounded like a clear lady.
Oh, okay. I got you when you say that. So I'm interested. I really wish I'm interested to see this. But you know what? Let me tell you something. Some people they will go to the extremes to get the attention they need, baby. They will go to the extremes. There's nothing wrong. I mean, it wouldn't be beyond some people to go and walk into CPS and say, hey, I have 5 kids and I just want to bring them here. I can't handle them. No, I'm all stressed out. I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have no food stamps. I don't have no family. And the person would say, well, bring them in, sweetheart. Just bring them in. We'll take care of them. We'll get a case started. So some people will go to the extremes to get attention. It's sad, but it's true.
Well, she also said that when she shared this, like I guess on her Facebook page, she said she never anticipated or thought that was going to be something that went viral. She thought she was only sharing it with, her friends or family. She said maybe 20, 30 people or whatever on her Facebook page, but it went viral.
She's well aware what social media does. She know millions of people probably watch social. She's well aware. Like I said, she don't appear to me to be stupid, dumb. She know what social media gives. She dropped her intro to her new music.
Well, maybe now we're seeing the whole point of it all, because at the end of that, I did not think that her kids. Well, she said her and my kids is not in CPS.
Right.
CPS don't have them. Well, girl, what was the whole point of all of this?
Right. See, okay,
If
so
you left that night with your freaking kids, girl, what you doing?
stop right there. She's telling us clearly that CPS don't have the children. Why did you go to CPS? Because that was a more sellable story. Go ahead, just Andrea. I'll mute.
I mean, she went to CPS. She went through all of that. Because look, when you go to CPS, you're almost at your wit end. So you went to CPS, you talked to a caseworker, but you didn't go through it. See, something ain't adding up for me. And when it's not adding up, I'm confused, because I have known some people have took their kids. I know other parents who was there was foster kids, and the mom said that she couldn't handle them, took her kids to CPS, and now they're in foster care. So if you couldn't go through it, you wanted to talk to somebody. See, it's something ain't adding up for me.
But look what
But
lady.
that's why I started to feel like she was lying.
Listen,
Because if you remember, she said that, oh, that night her kids went home with her that night. But she also said, because Neek must have asked her something, and she said, well, that's when people start. That's when she got the help. I guess that's when people started to reach out to actually give her assistance or help her in the way that she been crying out for, for help. But how did these people know? Because that happened that night. Remember, you took them home with you that night. Remember, so it had not went viral yet.
But listen to what Lady Tia T-shirts design said. She was on a radio station the other day. I think she just don't want them kids. I think so too. Hey, Styles with T and Miss 313, baby. Hey, I think she just don't want the kids now. And somebody might have told her, and now this just me now. I don't know. Hey, you know what? You could, get your career off the ground or whatever. You sound good. We don't know what type of people, but of course you're not gonna be able to do it with those children. I don't know. Or she knows that she's not gonna be able to move around, in Atlanta or wherever she need to go with those children. But why are you on a radio station? And most likely when you cry out for help like this, you get resources and agencies to help you put your kids and put you and your kids back in the home and give you a jump start. I just believe, you guys, for me, and Lord, I hope I'm wrong, that this is a stunt for her. She just wants her freedom. Hey, Jill, Comfort Zone. Why was she on a radio station?
Yeah, was she telling her story or promoting her music?
If she don't want them, I don't want her to have them. I get that. We say the same thing. Silky
Hey, we don't want them to have them either if she don't want them, because that means they might go through hell.
Right. So I guess if you look at it from both angles, perhaps whatever reason she doing it for, she don't want the kids. I'm just gonna say that, and she did the right thing. Can we, I guess, look at it in that light?
I agree with this. But you know what? It's so funny because I watched this show on Teen Mom about these two young people. They were 16, had a baby. The baby got adopted, and it was an open adoption. And the people who adopted them, they promised that they would see the child every year, and they've been having problems. So everything ain't gonna be perfect. But if she don't want them, let them be somewhere else that somebody could take care of them.
Yeah. Now I'll tell you a story about me personally. My guy grandbaby. Let me tell you what happened. His mother, now this is the truth. I don't know how the hell people do it, but anyway, his mother had 6 children already, and he was the 7th, right? He was the 7th. And so we were all working in this environment. I'm just going to say it in a roundabout way. And the mother appeared to be pregnant. Well, the mother was pregnant. And this was her 7th child, and it was by a married man. And the child she had before that was by this married man. So a good Judy of mine, I'm just going to say it in these terms, I don't want it all out here, she said, you can have the baby. Oh, you can have this baby. She said, "Are you serious now? My good Judy couldn't have kids and wanted a baby so bad, right?" So she said, "Oh yeah." She said, "You could have this baby." She said, "Are you kidding?" And she said, "No, I'm not." So she was supposed to adopt this baby, right? Well, follow the story through. She was supposed to take the baby from her. Well, when it came time for her to take the baby, I think something had happened in her family and with her mother. I think her mother passed away and she had some shit going on. So she didn't take the baby. Another young girl steps up, another young lady steps up and said, "Well, I'll take the baby." She said, "Okay, you can have the baby." She went to the hospital. She went to the hospital and she said, she calls me and she said, "Mom," she said, "I'm getting a baby today." I said, "Getting a baby? What are you talking about?" "Thank you, Skill." She said, "Mom, I'm getting a baby today. And would you be the god grandmother?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Of course I would." I said, "How you getting a baby?" And she explained the situation. She went in that hospital. Now, mind you, this lady had already had 6 kids, and this baby was by a married man, and she didn't want the 7th baby. She went in that hospital. We got all the stuff for her. You know, she had a little like baby shower, and she went in that hospital and got that baby until this very day. And this baby's 7 years old. She still have that little boy. The mother never looked back. But here's the craziest shit ever, you guys. She didn't even go through any formal adoption. And that was the scary part about it. Is my god grandson. The scary part about it is the lady just gave her the baby. She left the hospital with the baby. Until this day, I want to say my grandson is 7 years old and his mother never looked back. That was crazy. That's a crazy story, but I swear it's a true story. And
Wow.
she take care of that baby like that baby came out her cooch like it was her. She loved that baby. Her family loves on that baby. That baby is doing just fine. But that's just how she got that baby. And so I think y'all know that I own the early learning child care center. This is crazy. I'm just telling y'all this story. And I asked her, "How did you didn't adopt this baby? So how are you getting stuff for this baby, services for this baby?" Because she got a voucher. She got a voucher. I said, "How are you doing that if you didn't adopt this baby?" I don't know how, y'all, but she gets a voucher and she gets his medical and food stamp and never adopted that baby. Her boyfriend just took that baby. He ended up leaving her. He ended up leaving her, but he still provides for the little boy, and that's still his dad, you know, as a couple, the mom and dad. But you remember, am I lying, Diva? She said, "Mom," she said, "this lady's gonna give me her baby." I said, "Give her your baby." I said, "Nobody just gives you her." She said, "Yes, she is, Mom. She gonna give me the baby." And when that baby came, she called me. We went up there and gave her everything. Hold on, baby. I see you back there. Let me just put that up. Is that you, Lady Tia?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Stand by for
Okay,
one minute. Until
sure.
this day, she have raised that kid, and she still raises him. And I don't know where this kid mother at, if this kid's mother or father ever see the baby, but she damn sure did walk in that hospital, and that was just around here in this DMV area. And she get benefits for him. How she do it, I don't know. What's up, Lady Tia? What you like to add to
Hey,
the
Miss
conversation?
Tiva. Hey, who is that else on the Andrea? How you
Yeah.
Yeah.
doing, love?
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good. So, from what I got, because, I be looking at stuff. When I see stuff like this, it was a little strange. The first video I saw of her, she was talking about how she was overwhelmed. She was saying how she was, she done finished one college course and she's on to another one for a bachelor in something.
That's what she said.
But she's in school. And she has, I think her oldest is 11, maybe. But she said she
Mm,
been pregnant. She'd had been a mother since she was 15, and she's
right.
27. So that makes
Right.
sense that the oldest is 11.
Mm-hmm.
So also, um, she was crying. She seemed overwhelmed. I understand being overwhelmed. I didn't know it was 5 kids until later on that it was 5 kids. I
It's
thought it was
fine.
I thought it was just a twin, and the 11-year-old. And then I saw her again, and the next time I saw her again, she was at the CPS place. So she was. I mean, I can understand. She did seem overwhelmed. She said one of the kids that has passed.
I think your system went out, Lady Tia. We can't hear you.
Even know how to do this. I don't know if I had to go to a fire department or, I'm going to go to CPS. Well, the next video, she did go down to CPS, and the caseworker was asking her, questions, and she was saying, I'm just overwhelmed. She started telling the caseworker what her children like she was describing like toys that her kids like. So she was sounding like she was going through with this. If she
Mm.
didn't go through with it with the CPS, then this is some crazy type of stunt because she went all the way down to the point where she was telling them, I don't want to not be in their life. If y'all do take my kids, I still want to be involved. And the
Mm.
caseworker was like, yeah, so yeah, it just seems like you overwhelmed. And she was like, yes, these are the things that they like. It sounded like the kids was there with her because she even said at one point she spoke to one of the kids, and it was a little strange. So it caught my attention. But then I think it was a day or two later, she was on a radio station
Yeah,
talking about her music. I didn't even know she was into music. I thought she was just it was about her going to school and being overwhelmed
that's
and
what
not
I
being
thought.
able. Yeah, the when she started talking about music, I was like, what? When I seen her on the radio station. Yeah, she got interviewed
So,
on the radio station.
oh, see, I didn't know that. And let me tell you something. And this is where I just call bullshit, you guys. And sometimes I could be a little harsh. She did it because she no longer wants to have that responsibility, because she wants to go live her life freely now, and she want to get into the music industry. That's what I believe. I just can't imagine her being so overwhelmed and then going to all these places talking about it. I would be feeling some kind of way. I wouldn't even be able to talk if I had that, love for my kids like that, and know that, I call myself being overwhelmed, but I'm everywhere, talking about it. And I never seen her break down and cry. Did you?
Yeah, she cried in front of those people. But
Oh,
another thing that made me look at it the other side out when she started saying stuff, I'm gonna live my life.
oh,
What you mean you're gonna live your life? We still gotta live our life as parents,
yeah.
but we still can't live it the same way because we got responsibility. That's what made me think, oh yeah, she just don't want these kids.
Oh, well, then she
She
gave
said
him
she got to live her life. She said one of the baby daddies, she did talk to one of the baby daddies, and he said he followed his dreams, and she was like, oh, he get to follow his dreams, and I don't get to do my dreams. I don't get to do what I want to do or whatever. That's what I was thinking about. Okay, so she upset that she done talked to one of the kids' daddy. He said he trying to follow his dreams. That made her upset. Like, oh,
oh,
you get to do everything you want to do, but I gotta stop and take care of these kids.
oh, so she probably did just go to decide, well, the hell with it, then shit. I'm
Yeah,
just
like
gonna
you
come for
you
more.
get to do what you want to
Oh,
do. Yeah, you get to do
oh,
what you want to do. I should not be able to do it too. So I'ma just drop these kids out to CPS and we both can follow our dreams.
we
That's what
both
it
can
sounds like to
follow.
me. That's why I said I think she don't want the kids. It ain't even about the hurt of
Yeah,
giving them up. It's
mhm,
about she feel like her life has been stopped ever since she was 15 years old.
yeah.
And she see that some of her kids' fathers out there living their dreams and they ain't in the house taking care of them kids. Like she gotta be responsible, and it bothers her that she gotta be the responsible parent and the other parent don't have to be. And I think that's why it's unfortunate for the kids. But I do agree. I would rather the kids be somewhere where somebody gonna love on them than she hurting them kids. So that's my
Yeah,
stance on it too,
yeah.
because I would rather them be
It's
somewhere
ridiculous.
else because the way
I
she sound
agree.
like she probably in a
Would
neglectful
hurt them.
mindset right now.
But
Yeah,
Lady T, I wanted to add with what you said about I felt when I was hearing her talk to the lady and she was saying that she still wanted to be in the kid's life. I felt like she was not gonna do it if they couldn't place them
in a place to where she could still be involved and she could still
Mm,
see her kids because she still wanted to be active in their life. That's
mhm,
how I felt when I heard her talking to the lady.
mm.
Yeah, I can see that point, Silky. I can see that, but to me, it just seems the fact that she went to the level of going to CPS, it just
Right.
don't work like that. We don't get to have it our way like that. These kids are not fodder. They're not for sale. You don't get to just put them off and say, "This is how here's my kids, and this is how I want y'all to do it. I want them all to be together. I want to be able to be involved." And one thing that she failed to realize, even if she didn't go through it, but if she went through with it, just because you gave them away and they took them easily, that doesn't mean you'll be able to get them back that easy.
She she
And
said,
then if she
hold
understands
on.
the way,
Oops.
okay.
Sorry, Andrea, before you start, listen, it's only 46 people in here. I'm so sorry. But if you're not subscribed to Mixology, please, she only need like 46 more. I think she need like 40 more. If you're not subscribed to her, please just go and subscribe to Mixology Plus. Go ahead.
So
Thank
if you when you take your kids to CPS, because I used to be a foster mom, and
you.
I'm no longer.
Right.
And you take your kids to CPS, I know for a fact you ain't gonna be get to see them when you want to. They're gonna have a schedule.
Yeah,
They're gonna have this. They're gonna have rules.
right.
It's not Burger King having your way. So I'm just confused about if you thinking that you're going. And when you put them in CPS, you might lose some of your rights of
Yeah.
doing this. You're not gonna be involved like that, baby. So that's a
But
little nice.
if I'm not mistaken, ain't that what the lady said to her, Tia? Didn't she, Miss T? Didn't she say it don't work like that?
Yeah, Tia was the one who heard that. I think so. I think they say it don't work like that. So, but she should see. Here's the strange thing too. I know we heard all that, you guys, but I don't believe it took place. And I'm gonna tell you why. I don't believe that she left those kids there because she said several times her kids not CPS. She could see them when she wants. She could do. Because here's another thing too. She's just too sure that she's gonna see her kids. You know what I mean? It just don't sound like CPS. Yeah, I think that was a stunt, you guys. I just really do. I don't believe in my heart that that girl gave those kids to anybody other than her damn family. And they was at the mother's and they was celebrating the mother's day and the sister brought her food. So you know it must be some type of love connection there with her family.
Right. That's why I was wondering too. Like, okay, you got multiple children. Now, you mean to tell me that ain't none of these family members, their grandmas, your mother, ain't nobody want to be involved? She came off like nobody was interested in loving on her kids
Right.
but her.
Or have
No,
she? The thing I would ask: why the other kids' grandma not involved? What are you doing to prevent them to be involved in the kids' life?
well, I told you what one of the grandparents wrote that note. Y'all would have to go over Neeks and see that note. You know, one thing I'm not good about grabbing stuff like that. When you're a bigger content creator, hey baby, when you're a
Like the
bigger
grandma thought
content
she had
creator,
something to do with the death of her
right,
child.
Okay,
right.
well, I understand that grandmama. What about the other kids' grandmama?
I don't know.
She has 5 kids.
Yeah, I don't know, y'all. She had 5 kids. I don't know. That's why I said it's something not right in the buttermilk. But I'm like y'all, we all have come to the consensus that we'd rather her give those kids than to bring them any harm because we had plenty of stories that we have heard about where the parents do harm to the children because they no longer want them. And that's just the fact of the matter.
And
That's
that's
Or some
the
form of
first thing.
neglect, even if it's not physical
Right.
neglect. You neglect them if you don't want them. You're
right.
gonna
Yeah,
go out and leave them at home by themselves to fend for
Right.
themselves or whatever.
Right.
Whatever the case may be.
We
It's
just
a
had
lack of
one of those
love.
stories.
yeah. That's the
Mhm.
first thing. That's the first thing came to mind is a cry for help. And I'm like, somebody need to go
Mhm.
ahead and help them kids. If she's gonna take them to CPS, let her do it. I had no problem with
Right.
it. Now hearing the rest of the story, yeah, it got all convoluted, and we now thinking there's some games being played. But when she initially came on and said she was overwhelmed, that was a cause for help for those kids.
Yeah.
And that's how I looked at it in the beginning. And then I started listening to it a little bit more. Then some things just wasn't adding up. You got 5 children, and you're saying that nobody in their families or your family is willing to help in some way. I just kind of find that hard to believe. I do understand people live different states and they don't be having family in states in the same state, so I understand that. But I do agree that if she's overwhelmed and it's too much for her, that's the best thing to do for those kids. Thank you for having Miss T. I'm finna go eat my
You're
dinner.
welcome.
I just
Thank you,
wanted to add
baby.
on to what you
Thank you
had
for
going on.
adding.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Oh,
Well,
anytime. Y'all have a good day, ladies.
You too.
You
Thank
too.
you.
that's all right. They got timed out real quick, because let me tell you something too, you guys. It's so many stories going on around here. A lot of times, the fastest way to get your story out, no matter whether it's good, bad, or indifference, is to come to social media. Mm-hmm. It's come to social media. You know that. So she knows what she's doing. She knows
Right.
what she's doing. And again, I think we all just believe she did the right thing only because she wants to live her life. And if she think those children was hindrance, then she could have brought some harm to them.
And I do, let me tell you something, I do understand. When I got divorced, I felt like my ex-husband had so much time on his hands and I had the kids more. So I do understand that, okay? But my girlfriend gave me a check, check said, Drea, you wanted the kids more, so what's he gonna do when he ain't got the kids? So I do understand that, but at the same time if I wanted my kids more, I wanted a little more control. I wanted them, so that he's not gonna spend that. He's not gonna maybe spend that much time because he's working a lot, paying child support. So I get that, but at the same time, it ain't no way possible. If I'm having when I was having a difficult time, he took the kids for like a couple months, and and did that.
Nothing's wrong with that, Andrea. See, people get it twisted. I don't look at any mother as being a bad mother if she gives her children, if she needs a break or she needs help or the father's better. I don't look at no mother as being wrong in that case. Hold on. Hi, Simon. How are you? Hello.
How are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. What can we help you with, sir? Thanks for joining the panel. What's your take on this?
I was trying to contribute, but I got timed out for some strange reason.
Oh, did
Your
you?
moderators, yeah. Oh, yeah, they timed me out straight away. You know what I'm saying? I
Well,
don't know why. I don't know who did it.
I'll tell you why, Simon. My moderators didn't do it. Mz.Teavalocity did it. And I'll tell you why. And maybe you don't know, Simon. I don't like eyeballs. When you come into my room, I'm a little different, Simon, than some of the places you hang out at, because I've seen you around, so I'm familiar with you, sir. It's polite just to speak to the host in the chat. That's all. So when you come in here with eyeballs, I know I'm a little anal about it. I'm an asshole when it comes to that. I would prefer that you yes, I would prefer that you speak to me. But how are you? We'll untime you. We'll get you back in here. What's up? What would you like to contribute to the
I'm
conversation?
cool. I mean, did you time me out? I'm just interested because I didn't really get it. You get what I'm saying? And I will get to, because this is very relevant to me. That's the only reason I tune into channels is if the subject is relevant to me, right?
Yeah,
Or else
sure.
there's no point in me hopping up. I mean, I don't know. Like most people hop up and they will chat some ish, but
You're
I'm just saying, like,
Simon. You're fine, sir. You're fine. I explained to
yeah,
you why I did it, and that's something you should understand so we can have a level of communication and understanding. You're fine here. What would you like to contribute?
yeah. So there's a reason for this. Okay, so because um on your topic, the decision
Mm-hmm.
to give up your kids, I ended up being a single father, right?
Mm,
So I had no part in whether my daughter's mother was gonna decide to give up her kid or not.
mm-hmm.
She simply went through a process which she was not accustomed with, which is not really spoken on a lot, but I'm trying to get to that point. Not on this platform in general. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
saying, I I could have gone left
Right.
and just gone, okay, just give it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which a lot of people do. You know, it's
What
not
made her do?
easy.
Oops, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
What made her just give up her child, Simon?
Her mental state.
Ah, okay.
But then
I
does the
got
father have rights after that?
well. That's right. Let's get to one and then two. So like when you say what made her give it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was not in control of that. No woman wants to actually go through birth and have a child and not be in control of that child and be a mother. Okay, so there were certain things going on, um, you know, which was out of her and my control,
Mm-hmm.
which you know, and secondary to the point is like, did she want to?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, no way.
Oh,
Um, we're still in contact. We're cool, but we're just not married anymore. We was married for 10 years, so
oh, okay.
the difference I saw after she gave birth
Mm-hmm.
was for me a factor, a real big factor in terms of she wasn't taken care of properly. And they, it was kind of really traumatic because it's like they locked me out of the room when that was happening.
Mm.
And the thing is, it's like we put our what we don't acknowledge, which I'm trying to do this like really nicely because without sort of being upset and shit, right? But my background is as a teacher, right? And when you teach people, you see certain things. Like not just in the schoolroom, not in the classroom, this, that, whatnot. You see things in the industry because the whole point of schooling and education is to move the young person onto a job. So then you start working with employers. It's the same thing um, in hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
They literally like what I got twisted on was when it hit me. Although you could be like a subject, you could be an authority person, like
Mm-hmm.
you know, they drafted students to take, like, to birth my child, right? Now that's when I got twisted. That's why they locked me out.
What?
They didn't let me in the room when she was giving birth. She had a cesarean section.
Mm-hmm.
She lost 9.7 liters of blood.
Oh, Jesus.
Um, she
Hmm.
wasn't prepared for that, although we went through all the prenatal classes and we
Mm-hmm.
done all that sort of paraphernalia, like leaflet stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like the breathing, the ins, the outs, this, that,
Right.
whatnot. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then they get us to sign a waiver to say if she doesn't pull through this, they have no liability.
Wow.
At the last moment, it was like 30 seconds before she gave birth. So this is my wife of 10 years. Now I'm held up to ransom, right? I'm like, yo, you're about to give birth to my child. This is supposed to be the happiest moment in my life, but yet these people are in control. Then they draft in these students. I could see them. They were giggling before they actually walked into the room. I saw them before because I clock watch shit all the time, right? It wasn't like I wasn't like watching what was going on because like
Mm-hmm.
I'm her protector, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I see them drafting these students. These dudes with like spotty faces and all that sort of, yo, oh, you're about to perform this birth? All right, I'll give you a bit of slack. Okay, cool, whatever. But it was at the point where they didn't let me in. I thought that was real suspect. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that was crazy. Mm-hmm.
And then they only let me in when they effed up because they were doing all that staple shit,
Mm-hmm.
trying to control like the blood flow out,
Love
because
it.
they must
Mhm.
have, it was a cesarean section, so they split her up, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't sort of natural. So there was blood going all over the place. It was just like, wow. So that's when they let me in. They were like, knock, knock. Can you hold her hand?
Oh my gosh. So let me understand this. She didn't die on the table giving birth, did she?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so again, how did you get possession of your daughter? How did you get custody of her? When you said it was a process, so what was the process?
Yeah. So post birth, she went for a rest period, right? So she came out of the hospital.
Uh-huh.
She's a teacher, so it wasn't like we weren't from the same professions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but she had to rest, but she couldn't. Like being a woman, like of her nature, she was just like, I need to get out. Who wants to stay in the
Mm-hmm.
house like that?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she pushed it. So she pushed it and pushed it to a point where employers look for people. You get what I'm saying? If you're a good teacher, she was like head teacher status.
Mm-hmm.
So like they just employed her. She weren't listening to me at that point, and I didn't really know what was going on. So it was a real education. Although I thought I was educated. Um, she laid in the bed for a minute, then she got a job. And then like it was back into the system, but she weren't ready for it. She weren't rested, like in a real way. Like it was about 3 months, and she was just up and like acting like she was fit for purpose, but she wasn't. And the schools lapped her up. They were like, yo, because she's good at what she does. Um, so what happened was, in the process of that, it took a real toll on the pressure, in terms of like her going back and forth and like marking
Mm-hmm.
books and this, that, whatnot. Um, and then she just like clapped out. It was just like
Mentally, postpartum, right?
it was just like a spasm. It was just like
Mm.
I can't do this anymore.
Wow.
Um, she left the job. I had to take on everything, right? To a point that I actually took up a job in the farm. But and I was like, I didn't even know what the hell that was for a minute. But I had to take on her, our child.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but she just started wilding out, and I had no idea what the hell was going on.
Mm-hmm.
This was not her real character at all. I've never seen this before, ever. Like
Mm.
she started talking to the neighbors. She was like talking to strangers. She would go out shopping and bring back random stuff to the house. Like
Mm.
she was just doing all types of crazy stuff. She'd bring people back to the house, random strangers like she just met.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, "Look, I can't look," because we had a child in the house, right? So I was like, yo, I gotta protect my daughter.
Ah,
So
okay.
I couldn't. So that's the only thing that forced me to
Mm.
divorce her. I was like, yo, we gotta get divorced. Are you serious or what? And she was just, and then it was just like, you're not even comprehending what I'm talking about right now. So obviously you're in some sort of mental state. Then she attempted suicide.
Oh, oh,
That's when it went wild. It went real left.
oh. Okay. That's the process she was talking about. I went through a process.
Mm.
Sorry
She
to hear that, but
literally,
it's a good thing you was there. Some fathers aren't there, Simon. So I definitely commend you for being there. And so, how old is your daughter now?
she's 6.
Oh, this is a little. Oh,
Nah, this is literally what happened in the last couple of years, bro.
oh,
That's the
okay.
only reason why I got on YouTube. I'm not a YouTuber.
Yeah,
Andrea knows me to an extent, but I'm just saying I ain't a YouTuber like that. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not on
right.
YouTube, and I'm not trying to come up here like that. But I just
Postpartum
think,
depression.
I think like what I went through, um, I don't think it's that unusual. It may be at first glance, but I don't think it's unusual. Like
Yeah.
people go through stuff,
Well,
and
oops.
No, go on. I'm listening, bro.
No, sir. I don't want to cut you off. Your story is very interesting. I'm glad you came up here to share your story, and I apologize that I almost kicked you out, Simon. I really apologize because you have a very interesting story. I'm glad you joined the panel. And so you could continue, sir. Stand
No,
by clear. How are you?
it happens all the time because I'm honest, right? So we how we got to court and all that sort of stuff. I'm gonna skip through it because I was doing the live myself, but we because she was still in this state, I ain't really know what it was, and I kept telling her
Mhm.
to go to the doctor and all that shit. Like, so I was like, "Yo, you need to speak to someone." Blah blah. And we went through this process. But what happens is like when you want to speak to somebody, all they do is refer you to some sort of phone conversation. So like,
Mm,
it was like, oh, and they went through this sort of rigmarole of like trying to talk to her, and she was like, "Yo, I ain't feeling this shit." You get what I'm saying? It's like these
mhm.
people that like I don't even because she knows, right? She's educated.
Right, she's
Like,
educated. Hmm.
you get what I'm saying? She knows the process. Like, it's just
Hmm.
a job. Like, she ain't speaking to these people, and I'm like, God damn, what am I supposed to do about this? So, um, what happened was is you know, I'm gonna try and short this out, but
Yeah.
we went through a process
Hmm.
within ourselves, like going back and forth. But one day I came back to the house and my daughter was missing and she
What?
was gone. She left the door open, she cleaned the house out, and my daughter was gone. Like, so it was just like, and this was during the pandemic.
Hmm.
So now my daughter's abducted.
Oh God, the story gets deep. Mm.
So I was thinking some crazy stuff. I was like, wow, you get what I'm saying? It's like
Oh yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
God damn, I
Hmm.
mean, what the hell am I? What? And then I started calling everybody. I was like calling CPS. I was calling the police. I was calling everybody. Like, I was calling
Hmm.
the media. I was like, God, because that's my daughter.
Right.
Like, I get that she's an adult and you're
Hmm.
going through some shit, but I was just like, you're taking a child with you,
Hmm.
and everything was shut down. This was down like during the
Yeah.
pandemic, right? There was
Mm.
nothing. Everything was shut. Yeah, so I had to find my daughter, man. Then I had to switch my perspective in terms of like just understanding what was going on.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, I mean,
Oh, I so appreciate you coming on here. I almost made a mistake. You have a compelling story. Wow. Wow. I appreciate you sharing your story. Creole Butterfly, does someone want to ask Simon a question or add to the conversation? Just stand by, Simon. I appreciate you for joining the panel. Creole Butterfly,
Hey, hey there,
hey,
hey everybody.
can I ask you a quick question, y'all? This is off topic. The other day, somebody came in here as Creole Butterfly and they asked me where they blocked, and I thought it was you. And they dropped the address in here. Was that you?
No,
I didn't think
I
so.
don't think no, I don't think so. You
I
know
know.
what? It's funny because I was just on Bree's panel, and
Yeah,
Dimples, kind of went off on me about something in a back chat, and I had to
yeah,
correct her and go back off on her and tell her I don't do back chats.
yeah.
So I
And I
don't know.
knew you wouldn't do that. I said,
Yeah.
what was the ad? We don't know what the address was, but they was like, and I thought it was strange because it was saying, "Can you see me? Am I blocked?" And then I said, "No, baby, you ain't blocked because you know how I talk." I said, "No, why would I block you, Creole?" But they had I believe they had your picture and everything, and then they dropped that address, and well, the show was surely over. So I said, next time I see you, because you didn't come into the next live, I think because you probably had missed it, that I was gonna ask you. All right, baby, good. What would you like to add to this
Yes, ma'am. Thank
story?
you. I
You're
wanted to
welcome.
redirect if I could real quick. And I
Sure.
wanted to say something about foster care. I wanted to
Hmm.
jump on that real quick. If this is the same story that everybody's talking about, I believe, because been skeptical about different things because I've been busy. But if it's about the girl that gave up her kids or something, then they said the next day she went to a club or something. I don't know. I look at it like this. Foster care can be a good and bad thing. I just so happened to be blessed when I had to go to foster care to have a foster mother who loved kids and loved herself, because other friends of mine that was in foster care, their foster parents was horrible. My foster mother, when she met me, she had told my guardian ad litem at the time, she said, this baby don't need to be here. There's nothing I can teach her. She said she doesn't need to be here. And the lady told her, said, yeah, but right now we can't find her dad to, give her to her dad. So she needs somewhere to be. And so she said, okay. But what she didn't know, what she did give me has lasted me all of my life. My foster mother was that sounding board that I needed. Sometimes you don't know what you need until you get it. And we used to sit up and talk over coffee in the mornings and, all of this. And she used to speak life into me. And she always told me, you're going to do great things. You're very intelligent. Don't let your circumstances stop you, And so I don't have a bad story when it comes to foster care. I'm kind of glad that I went. And what I was trying to say about that woman is, I know the ideal is for anybody who have a kid to raise their own kids and all this. But sometimes, y'all, for whatever reason, the person is not mentally or emotionally available to raise their children.
Right.
And the best thing for these kids is to go into foster care. Then that's the best thing for the kids. We can't always condemn people that don't raise their own kids. We can't do it. And I will say this too. My second child, I had my first child 7 days before my sweet 16th birthday. And then within 10 months or 11 months, I had my second child. The second child was a result of a rape. Okay. However, I didn't have any choice over whether or not I kept that child or not. Because at that time, when you were still underage, your parents made a decision for that. And so my child got sent to the department to be put up for adoption, not because of me, but because of my mother. However, I was blessed because I got a chance to mother that child later on. Okay. So, yeah, so a lot of things happen, and everything that makes these people do what they do. So even if she did go out the next night or whatever the case may be, I'm glad that she gave them up. I am. Even if it's just for a temporary time. And then sometimes you can't trust your family members to give them to them. A whole lot of us, don't have family members that we can entrust with something that's precious with us, So, and then some parents are overworked, some are elderly. It's a lot that goes into that. So I just wanted to probably give you a different way possibly of looking at why she did what she did. Nobody really knows, but I'm gonna say it again. If her mental stability or her emotional stability wasn't where it needs to be a mother, a good mother, I'm glad she did just go ahead and give them up.
Yeah, I think we all had came to the same consensus that we thought that that's what was best, no matter how it happened. No, we did speak on that, say it probably was best for the children, even if she just wanted to go live her life.
Yes, ma'am.
But also you look at how people do things sometimes, and that makes you judge them or make a judgment on a situation. And I think that's where I was taking place, is the way she did it. She didn't have to do it. If you just wanted to give your kids up, you could have just gave your children up. And we don't know really what was her circumstances for doing that. But she leaves it up in the air for people to believe she did it out of a selfish reason.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying. Because, whether you went to the club that day, that night, the next day, for whatever reason, it just appeared to me that you put it on display on social media so you can get the attention for something else versus you doing the right thing for your children.
And you know what?
You didn't have to put it on social media.
Right.
Because you knew it was going to catch flames.
Right. But everybody, not everybody, but this generation that's coming up now, everything is to be popular. No matter how dysfunctional it is, everything is to be popular, And I wanted to say this too. even after I left foster care, I got emancipated when I was 17. So I've been on my own since I was basically 2 weeks before my 17th birthday. I've been on my own. And even after that, I would go back once a week and take my foster mother money and sit and talk to her and make sure she was okay. That was our bonding time. And, you know, that's why I said when people take on these responsibilities, and this is what I wanted to say to anybody out there that's listening that may be a foster parent. When you take on that is a special love that you have to have, not only for yourself, but you have to have that special love for the betterment of somebody else's kids.
Just Andrea.
Yeah, Miss Andrea, right. You have to love other people's children enough to want them to be better than their circumstance. And the bad thing about it is a whole lot of people that take on these kids, not everybody, a whole lot of people take on these kids, it becomes just a check, and then we have a situation, that's revolving. So I close Andrea all the time about that. You know, I really do, because it takes a special person to love other people's kids like that.
Exactly. And sometimes when kids go to foster care, you know, you're right, they don't get the treatment that they should get. They don't get that love, and they are being used for a particular thing, and they get abused. That's why I think maybe last year or the year before, somewhere down there, we had a conversation, and I was really kind of upset when people think that, you know, you should just call social services, CPS, with DHS, you know, because you upset with people and you out here wilding out here on YouTube, because you never know what can happen to children. Sometimes they are taken out of homes that's not that great, but the love is there. Maybe they're not able to provide for them, fulfill it, and you don't agree with it, but the love is definitely there. And you take them out of that home. And I know it's not that easy, but sometimes things happen. You take them out that home and put them in foster care or adoptive care, and things go wrong. They are treated worse than what they were being treated in that home that just couldn't provide for them. And so, yes.
Well,
that's a really good point. That's a really good point.
Well, I will say this. My children have been adopted come June 3.5 years.
Yep.
And they are straight A students. Okay.
Yep.
Y'all trying to help me. I'm trying to figure out something, because I feel like they get a lot, and they making up backpacks. I'm upset about 3 backpacks I'm buying, okay? Because I'm trying to figure out why they making backpacks, okay? They get a lot of love, attention, everything they want. But they not understanding the value of money. They're not understanding the value of working hard, because they get a lot. And so I have an issue with that.
You never know, you know, and I'm gonna get ready to wrap this up. But Simon, your story, I really appreciate you, bro, for jumping on here, and see how sometimes you could make a mistake and you gotta back and realize it. You finished, Creole? Thank you, baby. Because I appreciate.
I'm gonna do down too, Miss T.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining. I thank you as well.
See y'all next time.
Okay.
So Simon, I understand that. Now let me ask you, as a man, do you find it very difficult raising your daughter on your own?
No, not at all. My daughter's cool.
Your
But
daughter
I do. I had the privilege of raising her from birth. There's a difference. Like if there's an interception,
right,
like especially like what Andrea does, like when you have a child comes in after the fact, it becomes a real fucking issue. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like I've had the privilege of like understanding stuff from birth. I know the school system. I know how we're programmed. I know how we get down. So it's just like that ain't going nowhere. Like, so I have no problem with my daughter. Like, she goes to sleep at 7:00 p.m. on time every day. Like I don't need to worry about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
But that's because I put in the work when she was born. Like, it wasn't easy. I'm just saying it was hard. It was hard as hell. But you know,
Right.
just understanding what we've been through in life.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And like understanding how that works. Like I ain't pay attention to the school system and all that sort of stuff because I've already been through it. So I'm kind of like a privileged parent. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like I got that sort of edge in terms of like, you know, although she still acts up, she still
Mm-hmm.
riles me up. She's a
Mm-hmm.
female. I don't know. Do you get what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like that's why I
Right.
got to draft her mother in, although like her mother's like
Ah,
you get what I'm saying? It's like I ain't that cute cutesy wootsy. Like I
I was
can't do
gonna
that
ask
shit.
you that. Do you
Yeah, I
have
can't.
female family members or friends that help you? You
No,
know?
no, I don't. I got female
Wow.
sisters, but
Mm-hmm.
they're dealing with their own shit. You know what I
No.
mean? Like my family's like real deep.
Oh,
So they got like, you know, like my sister's got like two grandkids already.
oh, okay.
The
They
other
got their
sister's
own
got like
thing.
five. Do you get what I mean? It's like my family's deep when it turn out, but it's just
Mm-hmm.
like in my personal predicament, I don't even wanna because it's like they get a bit funny when I bring my child around.
Oh, okay, okay. All
So
right.
they don't really like it. You know what I'm saying? I we've been to the cookhouse and they're like, oh, why is your daughter so she's got such a nice posture? I'm like, yo, bro, man.
Oh, okay. So you raise them a little different. Well, I surely appreciate you again. I appreciate Andre. I'm gonna get ready to jump off here. I've been here on 2 hours, but I'll tell you a story too when it comes to adopting. My girlfriend adopted my girlfriend and her husband, who does quite well for themselves, adopted their daughter. Listen to this. Adopted their daughter, and when she was 3 months old, raised her the whole time. Didn't raise her no different than they raised their biological daughter. They had one biological daughter and the oldest son, and raised them and together. And when she got old enough, when she got 18, I met my girlfriend when she was around 15 years old. And we watched her struggle like going to school. But I saw my girlfriend and her go on cruises and trips. And to me, she didn't treat her no different than she treated her biological daughter. But somehow that daughter must have felt some difference. And I don't know because I wasn't there from the earlier years. However, she gets 18, she joins the army. Somehow the biological mother, because we all still in the same area, we still in this same area, the biological mother contacts her from somehow seeing a post or something, because she hadn't been with the biological mother, didn't have no dealings with her. Now, mind you, my girlfriend raised her for 18 years, gave her the best life that she could give her. You know, her husband do okay. And she connects with the biological mother, and this is the heart wrenching thing. She turns against my girlfriend. She goes with the biological mother and she meets her sisters and stuff. And her biological mother, who wasn't doing well at all, she still wasn't doing well. And she had other kids. But when you're in the military, sometimes you believe that you can, well, not just in the military, but she believed that she could help her mother. And for some reason, she started backing away from my girlfriend, mistreating my girlfriend, and they no longer have a relationship after she raised her for 18 years and gave her a good life. Somehow she felt somewhere in her heart of hearts. Now, I never saw it. I never saw my girlfriend treat her different than her biological daughter, but she made up all this stuff about how she felt like my girlfriend treated her different than her biological daughter. And so to this day, they no longer speak. My girlfriend was crushed about it, but her husband said, "You just have to let it go." It just came out of nowhere, you guys. She joined the military, posted something on Facebook, and the mom contacted her.
Yeah, so
Crazy.
yo, there's always time, man. I mean,
So
it's heartbreaking.
that's very
Like,
heartbreaking.
you know, but you
Is
know,
and I believe that's the risk you take, okay? Because I believe when my kids turn 18, that
Mhm.
I have paperwork that shows who their father and mother is, and if they're gonna find them, I'm gonna help them. But I believe, and I have to tell my sister. My sister adopted kids too, and my sister didn't want her kids to know that it was adopted. That was the wrong move. Because I feel like my kids been knowing since they was I got them as a foster mama at 3 and 5. Okay, they've been knowing they're adopted. They told their social worker they want me adopted. Okay, so I think having an open communication with your daughter and your son about being adopted, they change their social security, they change their birth certificate. So I have all the original paperwork in a safe. So when they turn 18, they will have it. I think that's the risk you take. And if you knew that you done the best you could for this child, I have no qualms about you looking for your mother and your father.
Wow. Yeah, but I mean to turn on her.
To turn on them.
That's something different.
To turn on them. And you know what? I always tell my sister, she's gonna them kids gonna want to know that them people, and you're gonna have to learn how to let go. Because if you don't, you're holding on so tight and don't want them to know nothing. That's how you're gonna lose them.
But I'm wondering too if some kids just don't care to know.
And some kids do, and they have a right to know.
They have a right to know.
They have a right to know.
You're right, Andre, and you live that life. I mean, you know it, and that's a good decision you making, you know. But I can't imagine what really happened. But then again, I don't know how that kid truly felt, and I wasn't there for the earlier years. I was just there for the last years.
See, I'm lucky that my 2 adult children, when I adopted these, they was grown. They was fully grown. So they love their siblings because they're big brother and big sister. So my 2 grown kids are fully grown, and they 25 and 26. My daughter got sons. I have a grandson. So they love my little ones love their little brother and little sister because they help me with them. So it's not they get all the attention. I didn't have nobody. Yeah, I didn't have nobody help me. My older son coaches my little son on football. He come take him to football practice, and so I have so much help with the kids. I didn't have that when they was growing up. So our life is different, and the struggles that I had with my older 2 kids, I don't have that struggle no more.
Right.
So when my daughter is saying these kids are lucky, they don't have the struggle like we had, Mom. They get everything, they get what they want, blah blah blah. We had the struggle, so they're not jealous. But they pointed out some of the hard things. I was hard on them, and I'm not hard on their sister and brother.
Well, my youngest tell me that, and then my children said to me about my grandchildren. Ooh, we wouldn't have never got away with this with Yaya. Ooh, y'all got it good. Yaya, run here, run there. But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But you guys, I have to get out here. I enjoyed this show. Again, I think we all came to the decision that she did, either way we look at it, no matter, not judging her, just being fair and unbiased. She did the right things, even if she just wanted to go live her life, that she let the children go somewhere else and she didn't bring harm to them.
Have a good evening, Mz.Teavalocity. Have a good evening, Simon. I'll see y'all later.
Thank you. Peace. Again, thanks for joining me. Simon, I appreciate that. And Simon, I hope you you jumped out. But Simon, just know this. No hard feelings towards you, love. Just make sure that you come in and speak to the host. We run things a little bit different. And that really chaps my ass when people drop eyeballs. Diva said, "Don't let that bother you." I said, well, I really do, because when I go in people's chat, even if I can't stay there for the duration, I always speak to them in the chat, and I'll tell them I'm up in the clouds or something. Thank you all so much for joining me. I know it's probably a lot going on. I'm trying to move away from a lot going on. So a lot of this stuff I don't even want to see. And I'll come on here probably Wednesday again, and we'll have something else to talk to. I really want to try to travel away from the beefing portion of it, and I don't think I touched on anything today that was beefing, and we see our numbers because there's a lot going on, but I don't want to be involved. With that being said, I'll see y'all on the flip side. Be safe out there.